Hey there everyone, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if it's your first time here. I'm Fionuala. As you know, I live, work and garden just outside of Petaluma, California in gorgeous Zone 9B. And I've been wanting to talk about hummingbirds for quite some time, but getting footage of hummingbirds is practically impossible. I have run all over the place, I've done my best, I did get some, but I am narrowing it down, and what I'm going to do today is plant up a hummingbird container. I really like container gardening. So many of us are confined to a patio, a deck, or some small space, but whether you are or not, wouldn't you love to plant up a container specifically for hummingbirds? That is going to be the most fun thing. And how I figured out which plants I'm going to use today is from running around after all those hummingbirds and trying to get footage of them, which was not terribly successful, but I did find fabulous plants. Everything I am putting in this container today had a hummingbird visit it. Apart from the big tall grass that I'm going to use, I'm doing that for its gorgeous color and for the height that I want in this container. But believe me, every single other plant I'm putting in here had a hummingbird visit. You're just going to have to trust me on this because it's next to impossible to get film of hummingbirds, the little devils. Anyway, let's get going. I'm going to go get those plants. I've got my container picked out. Let's get going. All right, this one is a no-brainer. This is Kufia Hummingbird's Lunch. And I tell you, it's the cutest little plant with the cutest little flowers that the hummingbirds absolutely adore. Narrow, tubular, the sort of colors that just make you smile and feel happy. And it blooms almost nonstop. I love this little Kufia. I think Kufia is also called Mexican heather for some strange reason, but Kufia, definitely, this has to be part of it. Here we go, there's a little bee on this guy. This lavender here, this is called La Diva Imperial. It is one of those hybrids that is absolutely astonishing. It's a dentata hybrid, meaning the leaves are like toothed. It blooms all the time. Now, I don't think I'm going to put this in today's container, but I tell you, all winter long, the La Diva Imperial lavender that I have out in the parking strip, hummingbirds were visiting it. I never knew that hummingbirds visited lavender before, but it was the cutest thing. I'll see if I can find that footage. I'm sure I tried, but no guarantees. But yeah, La Diva Imperial Lavender, a great hummingbird favorite. Believe it or not, I've seen hummingbirds visit thyme. Now these flowers are so tiny, I can't imagine they were getting the nectar from it. I also love the way it looks and the way it smells. This goes with all the other plants that I'm picking out. Epic Blue is this variety. Cute little flowers. I've seen hummingbirds on it. I've seen honeybees on it too. So it's definitely going to play a part in the combination that I'm making today for the hummingbirds. I don't know where they are today, but penstemon, oh my goodness, that is a hummingbird favorite. So I'm going to pick out a penstemon to go into my container. I love this guy. This is Penstemon etonii. I know I've talked about it before. It's a native. Gorgeous flowers about to pop open, but maybe garnet's going to go better with my container combination. I don't know. I'm going to bring both up. All right, so I've got to look at the hummingbird mint. Agostiki is another really great favorite with the hummingbirds. That's why they call it hummingbird mint. So maybe one of these will jump out at me as perfect for going in my container. I think I'll grab this little rosy posy, just see if it works with the combination. All right, I need one more texture for this container I'm putting together. And I figured I'd stop over by the succulents because this one, this echeveria right here, is not only gorgeous, but it gets visited by hummingbirds pretty much 10 times a day. Again, they're not here right this minute, but trust me, they absolutely love this little cutie. But I can't leave the whole succulent department without sharing that they also love aloes so much. Any aloe, any bloom. I've got this one here about to pop open. This one finished being open. So there's a lot of aloes that you could add to your hummingbird garden. They just don't work in the container that I'm going to do today. But this one, Echeveria shaviana, definitely does. Okay, I've got my plants. I've got my little embellishments. I'm going to go back up to the shade area here at Cottage to do my potting up because it's a kind of a warm day. I want to be in the shade for this. All right, I've got my plants. I probably brought too many, but now's the time to test it out and see what's going to work and what isn't. So I realized this container needed some height, and I got this gorgeous Panicum Dallas Blues. Goes beautifully with the container, goes beautifully with a bunch of the plants that I picked out. So now I'm going to put it together in my little test run and see what's going to work for me. As always, I know my eyes were bigger than my stomach. I definitely don't need all of these, but anything that doesn't go in the container will end up somewhere in the garden, and I know the hummingbirds are going to find it. Okay. Now, a square container can be a little bit difficult to work with. Do you put the tall plant in the middle and to put everything around it? Do you put it towards the back? Well, all of that is completely up to you. For my purposes, I'm going to put this grass at the back. At least I think that's what I'm going to do. And take it from there, basically. So far, that's definitely what I'm doing. Here's my beautiful Fionuala. This is happening. Okay, I think I've got it. Just want to remind you, if you're new to container planting, you want to get everything in the container that has similar water needs. Now this Echeveria, this Kufia, and this grass, they're all pretty drought tolerant. So very, very similar water needs. But if you get a little creative and you put something else in that likes more water, just be real careful about your watering and direct your watering towards the thirstier plants. The other thing I wanted to remind you is plant everything in the container at the same level. You don't want one thing deeper than the others. I ran out of space, so I'm going to use the bacopa for the spiller and leave this gorgeous little thyme for another day and another container. Can I adjust this guy? Okay, that's better. Right there. So that the flower stalk is going that way. All right, it's making me smile. I think we're getting somewhere. Now, I just need to fill in, make sure there's no air pockets, that everything's planted at the right level, and that there's no gaps between the soil and the roots. I want to make sure that the roots touch the soil. No air pockets. Keep those plants happy. Now, this is pretty tightly packed, but it's going to fill in even more over the next couple of weeks. The echeveria will probably pup. I picked out some that look like they're going to do that. Each one of these cophias, these gorgeous little hummingbirds, lunch Mexican heathers, they're going to fill out, fluff up even more. And they're going to bloom pretty much all year. The one I have at home never stop blooming. So the hummingbirds are going to be thrilled to bits. Now this Dallas Blues is what I picked for the height, just because the texture works really well with the container I picked. Looks great against that echeveria. The blue of the bacopa kind of continues the blue. And it's a concrete container, so the colors just, to me, they look absolutely wonderful. We all have our own style. We all have our own way of being creative. We all have different plants, different styles, different pots, different everythings that makes us happy. And there's nothing more important than expressing your own style and your own creativity, even when it comes to hummingbirds and making them happy. Hummingbirds love certain types of plants. They love the tubular flowers. They love high nectar echeverias. They love these little bacopas even. Put together your own amazing container for your hummingbirds. I'm pretty happy with this. Let me keep going. I just digressed for a sec. Alrighty. I want to close up for me, going in the air gaps, whatever. Other thing, just close up my hands doing this. All right, we're almost done. Double checking that there's no air gaps. Soil's all topped up. Now all it needs is a little bit of watering and maybe an embellishment or two. All I need to do now is water it in, but look what I found. I am going to do a little bit of an adornment to encourage the hummingbirds and maybe give them somewhere to perch if they need it. There we go. And there you have it. Alrighty. What do you think? As usual, my eyes were bigger than my stomach when I was shopping, but I know I'm going to find a place for this gorgeous penstemon, and then for that hummingbird mint, and of course, you can never grow too much thyme in your garden for sure. But yeah, there we go. I like it. I know the hummingbirds are going to love it, and yeah, I can't wait to see it fill in. It's going to be amazing. There we go. Container gardening can be a ton of fun, and it really lets you get hyper focused on this little garden that I just created in this container. So there you have it with the hummingbird garden in a container. These blades of grass were bugging me, so they're no longer there. I want it all blue, all gorgeous. So yeah, there you have it. I hope you enjoyed today's video. I really had fun putting it together. Can't wait to see the hummingbirds all over it, probably having little battles, you know, how territorial they are. But yeah, go on outside, create your own hummingbird garden in a container. Don't forget, even if all you've got is a deck, a patio, a little balcony, and a patch of sunshine, you can make a hummingbird garden. So there you go. Hope you loved it. Follow me on Facebook, Instagram. Drop me a comment if you have anything to share or any great stories of what hummingbird gardens you've created in a container. Any pictures of a hummingbird, those little devils. And yeah, subscribe if you haven't done so already. Share it with your friends. See you next time. Happy gardening.